The Democratic Party nationwide is in flux. Some say it's too woke. Others say it's not woke enough. But you know what? All eyes are on our governor, the telegenic, the man with the golden smile, Wes Moore, the Maryland's charismatic governor and rising Democratic star. This week, Moore vetoed a bill calling for a study on reparations, a move likened to Bill Clinton's 1992 Sister Souljah moment when Clinton publicly distanced himself from the party's extreme. Cary, is Moore's veto political strategy or a missed opportunity?
Neither. If you listen to Wes Moore, he said, "Look, it's just not the right time at the moment." I mean, bear in mind, we had a $3 billion deficit this year, and he's struggling with issues. I think equity issues like affordable housing. We just talked about schools, and if you're going to have reparations, you've got to identify what does that mean. What does that look like? You know, I think Governor Moore is trying to, just maneuver the waters, trying to understand the issue, and then identify how the state can best serve this population and this inequity, this generational wealth inequity.
So, Stacey, there are those that think that, Governor Moore, with his background as having been in the military and having worked in an equity position on Wall Street, that, he has moderate positions on certain things. And that gives him a persona that would be attractive to the average voters. Of course, I think he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, but I want to hear what you think, whether Moore can replicate Clinton's success and reposition himself for a national audience.
Casey, I told you a little while ago, I think what we're looking at here is Victor Victoria, that movie where Julie Andrews played Victoria Grant, who reinvents herself as Victor, a man pretending to be a woman performing as a female impersonator so that she could survive. And the question is whether Moore is Victor or Victoria. I believe he actually has more moderate tendencies that he may have pushed down to get elected in a very liberal Maryland. And that the people, the powers that be in the Democrat Party know this about him, and that they probably feel like he'd be one of the most viable candidates in the next election. So the question is he impersonating a liberal identity to get elected in Maryland? And then the closer we get to another presidential race, will he be singing centrism? And think about this, like you were just talking about, he came across as a racial equity champion, but then just vetoed the reparations study bill. And he recently paused enforcement of penalties for missing EV sales. The truth is he's clearly teeing it up to run for president, and has already achieved what he wanted, the support of liberals across Maryland to get elected governor. Who cares about Maryland in the presidential election? Governor Moore, if you're listening, Maryland needs a genuine leader, not a costume change. So we want to know, will the real Governor Moore...
Cary, all right, Cary, we got about a minute left. I'm going to give you the last word on this.
That's just totally unfair. Stacey, I love you to pieces, but oh my God, Wes Moore, he's doing the best he can. I mean, he's got a budget. He's playing the card game, the way it's dealt out. Okay. I think he's doing a good job. He's looking at the idea of creating affordable housing, opportunities in schools, transportation. He has to define what is what does it look like? How do we deal with reparations and how, what is it going to look like in the end? I think he's a good guy.
I think we want authenticity, Cary. We want elected officials who are truly authentic. We know exactly what we're getting and where they're coming from. And I don't feel that way with him.
So now you're calling him the drag
he's got a limited budget.
Is that it, Stacey?
I'm sorry, say that again, Cary.
You called him the drag queen candidate?
No, I'm not, but I just don't want him to drag us into, any more messes than we need to. How's that?
All right, that's perfect.